Just as Michael is called a chief prince, so is this Gog is a spirit prince among the chiefs. And just as Michael shall stand in the latter days as Daniel 12 verse 1 says, so shall Gog ascend from the netherworld signified as the north. Because these are high angelic rulers in the category called princes, some being the rebels and some being servants of God. To prove that Gog is not a man, but a spirit ruler having had influence. Even in the very days of Ezekiel, notice God twice says, I am against you, in the present tense, because these are rebel angels God gave dominion over his creation. Again, God says twice that to return this Gog, implying he would be deposed for a while, because these princes rule for ages and go away, but some return and some not. This Gog would be left with lesser influence, signified as a sixth part, just as the dragon had angels to a third part in Revelation chapter 12 verse 4. After deposing him, then in many days God causes this ruler to come up again, saying, after many days thou shalt be visited in the latter years. Then certainly Gog is a ruler and not a nation, and this God indicates saying, the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. Therefore of the multitudes mustered by that spirit prince Gog to battle, some are also princes, but these mighty rulers in Ezekiel chapter 39 verse 17 to 18, God signifies them as goats and rams and bullocks. He does it the same way that Daniel 12 also signified these mighty as goats and rams, of whom one fought Gabriel, the angel of presence sent to Daniel. Therefore you notice after Daniel seeing them as goats and rams who butt each other, but later Gabriel calls them princes and kings of Persia and Media, because Scripture uses these terms consistently when plain or when figurative. The north means the netherworld from where Gog has his seat, not Russia or Iran or whatever. Granted that these angelic rulers use human nations to manifest their activities, but he may use a nation in the geographical south, because in Scripture that north is the netherworld. This is the Gog to fight against the mountains of Israel in those days. Again, the terms mountains and peoples are major distinctives in prophecy, things we cannot break down at this point in time. But as Jesus was signified as a stone in Isaiah, and in Daniel as a rock that becomes a great mountain, that is the sort of things that mountains of Israel mean respecting Gog, who falls upon them. In other words, they are high warriors, because these are oracles, not a daily newspaper. If you miss all that has been said, don't miss this point, which is that this spirit prince Gog, he comes to fight against God's servants, practicing God's righteousness.